to this beat.
Welcome to another episode. Welcome to another episode of Gamecocks Talk with Captain Will. I am your man, Captain Will. Make sure you like, make sure you share, make sure you subscribe to Gamecocks Talk with Captain Will so I can continue to bring you that gospel of Gamecocks every single day, y'all, every single day. Ladies and gentlemen, you are now rocking with the best. Since you're rocking with the best, come rock with your man, Captain Will. We got a good one today, y'all. I said we got a good one today, y'all. We talking about recruiting, class of 2025. We talking about Coach Dawn Staley. We talking about the three-time national champions. Is Dawn Staley, the GOAT herself, is Dawn Staley getting nervous about this 2025 recruiting class? Is Dawn Staley getting nervous? Let's dive into that. We've had substantial recruiting success over the past 4 years. Amazing recruiting success. It's been, I dare to say, dominant recruiting success. Class of 2024, the ladies arrived this summer. Headlined by Joyce Edwards, Maddy McDaniel, Adhel Tac. Okay. All 5-star recruits, all highly rated in high school. Class of 2023. You're talking about headlined by MiLaysia Fulwiley, Tessa Johnson, Chloe Kitts, Sania Feagin. All wonderful, amazing players. Sania Feagin ended up transferring out to Arizona, but she still was a 4-star recruit. Okay. Class of 2022. Smaller class, but it included in a headline. I guess you could say headline. There were similar ratings. Ashlyn Watkins, MiLaysia Cooper. MiLaysia Cooper ended up transferring to Tennessee. We didn't see her play last season. We'll see her play again this upcoming year. And Ashlyn Watkins has proved who we thought she was. Rewinding one more year. Class of 2021. We're talking about Raven Johnson, Sania Rivers, Sania Feagin, Bree Hall. I can even say now, since she's on our squad now, the 13th ranked player in that class of 2021 was Maryam Dauda. All phenomenal years. 21, 22, 23, 24. Amazing years, amazing recruits. Starting with that 2021 class, you're talking about 2 national championships. What's up with this class of 2025? What is the deal with this class of 2025? And I know it is early. It is early right now. It is early in the process. We have a whole lot more recruiting to do over the next few months. But I just have to say, there are a lot of players that has already they're already committed to schools. There are several players. Seems like they were committing sooner and sooner, happening faster and faster. If we look at the top 15 players, right now in the class of 2025, a good portion of those players are already committed to a program or is leaning very hard to a program or two. Those are the facts. The facts of the matter is, in talking about the top 15 players, they're slim pickings. There are slim pickings in this class for elite players. And I highlight elite players, and I stop at 15 because those are the headliners. If you look at the metrics and you look at the analytics of it, those are the ones who are the game changers on a college basketball team. Immediate game changers. Some miss, but 9 times out of 10, these are the hit makers. And then you have some after the top 25, obviously, who ball out. Top 15, I should say, who ball out. Tessa Johnson was a 25th overall recruit in her class. She balled out. She balled out. And I can't even remember if I even said Tessa and mentioned in the class of 2023. If I didn't, I apologize. It was MiLaysia Fulwiley, Tessa Johnson, Chloe Kitts. Dynamic class. Sania, dynamic class. And she has far exceeded those expectations at 25th in the country. But for this exercise, we're just talking about the top 15 in the class of 2025. Starting with Adhel Tac. I've done 2 back-to-back shows talking about Adhel Tac. Number 1 player in the country. Elite talent. Right now, like I said yesterday, I believe she's going to LSU. And if she doesn't go to LSU, I believe she's going to Texas Tech. That's what I believe. That's what I believe. I don't believe she's going to South Carolina, even though she has them now in the top 6. I don't believe she's going to South Carolina. We talk about Jazzy Davidson. Jazzy Davidson recently, eliminated South Carolina. Jazzy, a West Coast girl, and it's trending towards Jazzy going to UCLA. That's number 1 and number 2. Sienna Betts, number 3. Number 3, committed to UCLA. She's gone. She's gone. So that's the top 3. Number 4, Sania Johnson. Sania Johnson is a combo guard. She's from Kentucky. And it's trending to go to either Kentucky or LSU. Not Carolina at this point. Those are the 2 headline schools in the recruiting metrics. Number 5, Emily Skinner. Emily Skinner, Iowa. Already committed to Iowa. She's off the table. So the top 20, in the top 5, Betts has committed. Skinner has committed. You're talking about 3 and 5. Adhel Tac, David, Jazzy, she is gone. Sania Johnson, it's very high probability that she's going to stay at home and play for Kentucky. Very high. Much like our players from South Carolina, stay at home. If we move on to 6th, move on to 6th and 7th, you're talking about a Got Maker and Devon Burridge. In my home opinion, right now, those 2 are a toss-up. And it's early, so several of these might be a toss-up. But they don't have like a defined leader right now. We go on to number 8. You're talking about Leah Crump. Leah Crump has already committed to Texas. Texas is building something special. Special. We move on. After Leah Crump, we have D. Alexander. D. Alexander committed to Cincinnati. Haley Swain, number 10, committed to Stanford. Mia Paldo, the Paldo twins, both point guards, both of them committed to Tennessee. 12th. Denia Prowl, trending toward Miami or Arizona. Grace Cox, 13th, committed, is trending towards UCLA or Southern California. Adhel, the 14th ranked player in the country, is going to Iowa. It's already committed. Iowa, at this point right now, have 2 out of the top 14 players in the country. 2 out of the top 14. Finally, number 15, Leah Macy, Notre Dame. Notre Dame has already committed. Those are the top 15 players in the country. They are. And this is where I see some potential trouble with South Carolina. I do. I see a little bit of trouble for this 2025 class because the number speaks for themselves. Now, obviously, we can get players later in the class, and I believe we will. But those hit makers, that's what I call them, the hit makers. I don't see it. If we don't sign a got maker and or Devon Burridge in this class of 2025, we got a problem. We got a problem. The question I have is South Carolina women's basketball, the three-time national champions, are we too good? Is South Carolina too good? Do we have too many 3-star recruits? Let me correct myself. Do we have too many 5-star recruits? Do we have too much talent on this basketball team? Is this 2025 class's next wave of superstar talent in college basketball? Are these star players willing to wait? Because if you go to South Carolina, the standard is a standard. Everybody is great. And are these players willing to wait for their opportunity to play? This is a microwavable society. Microwavable. It is. We want stuff fast. We want it now. And we want it immediately. Immediately. We don't want to put something in the slow cooker and let it marinate, let it simmer for a while until it's amazing. We don't want that. And you put something in the slow cooker, you put the meats and the vegetables and all those good things, and it simmers so good. And you talking about you go, back in the day, you put in the slow cooker and you go to work and it's just simmering and just marinating and all the goodness and the juices and all that stuff. You come back home from work and it's ready to go. That's some good eating right there. But nah, we talking about put in the microwave. Get these old chicken nuggets, chicken tendies, and we just go in and eat them, right? This microwavable society in women's basketball might be a problem for South Carolina because these players that we talked about, these players that we discussed, they got with this NIL thing, and I want my brand. Everybody's concerned about their brand. Like, oh God, everybody got a brand. Now they're getting NIL deals in high school and things of that nature. Some of these players are not willing to wait for their chance to play because the players that are already there at the University of South Carolina are better than you. Were in a lot of cases were ranked higher than you. So you have to find a way to get into the basketball game. But you can go to some of these other schools, and there ain't no shade to any of these other schools. None at all. But there is a big opportunity to play at other schools. Chavez go to LSU. She's going to play 35 minutes a game. She's not going to do that at South Carolina. Jazzy Davis is going to play a lot at UCLA if she chooses to go there. Sienna Beck's going to play with her sister at UCLA. If that happens, which is trending too, if UCLA is able to get the services of Jazzy Davis and Sienna Betts and Grace Knox, 3 out of the top 13 players, that's a sensational, amazing recruiting class. But they have spots. They're not as deep as South Carolina. LSU is not as deep as South Carolina. Zakia Johnson, possibly going to Kentucky, is not as deep as South Carolina. I can go on and on. So those players are going to play a lot of minutes. Now, I don't believe LSU going to win a championship, not in the least. I don't believe that whatsoever. I don't believe UCLA is going to win a championship. I don't believe that either. Iowa, Cincinnati, it's just Miami, Notre Dame. I don't believe any of those teams going to win a championship. I believe the championship will be won by the University of South Carolina because talent overall wins. But this 2025 class makes me ponder, makes me think about, will this 2025 class actually matter? If we strike out, and when I say strike out, I put it in terms of similar to what LSU did in class of 2024 when they struck out. 24, they struck out and got one player in the top 100. If we do something similar in this class, will it actually matter for South Carolina? The answer is no. From a talent perspective, the answer is no. It won't matter. This class 2025, we can get no one. Nobody can go to South Carolina. Because what I know for sure, Dawn Staley not just going to get players to get players. It's not about quantity, it's about quality. Because if we get no one in the class 2025, nobody shows up in terms of high school amazing talent for South Carolina to go to South Carolina. Because we ain't talking about no 3 stars. We ain't talking about no stuff like that. We're talking about 4 stars and 5 stars, mainly 5 stars. If none of those players come to South Carolina, we strike out with Devon Burge, we strike out with a God Maker, we still will have 9 5-star recruits on this roster next year. 9. Which probably will be the most 5-star recruits on a basketball team again next year. This year we got 12. Next year it'll be 9. That is unbelievable. Unbelievable talent. But what I do think is, hypothetically speaking, if we get Devon or Agat, one of those players, I think 2 more players will come in the transfer portal. 2 more players will come in the transfer portal. And I'm talking about a point guard, and probably a veteran point guard, because in this year, that will be Raven's last year. If she doesn't go to the W after this season, that'll be her last year in a Gamecock uniform. And then you will have a Maddy McDaniel who'll be going to her sophomore year. I think you would need some veteran type point guard to come in and kind of bridge the gap, so to speak, who's already been there before, to provide some type of veteran leadership at the point guard position. I believe that. And then you're going to need a forward. You're going to need a big. Because after the season, Sania's gone. Sakima's gone. They're gone. You're going to need somebody to come in and play some, not play a lot, because you still got Adhel Tac. You still got Ashlyn Watkins. You still got Chloe Kitts. You still got Joyce Edwards. You still got an abundance of talent. But I think you will find South Carolina next season dipping its toe a little bit, just a little bit into the transfer portal. I think we got a star in Maryam Dauda at South Carolina. I don't think there's enough conversation talking about her this upcoming season. She is a baller. She was a 5-star recruit. She was a top 13 pick, a top 13 recruit in the class of 2021. She is a baller. And she's going to play well this season. She's going to play well. Will she have the same impact that Tina Pow had, last season? I don't know. I really don't know. I don't know. I know she can play. I know she can play well. And I know she'll be here this year and she'll be here next year. So if you want to kind of peg it a little bit, you're kind of like forecasting a little bit with Dauda having 2 years to play. That's kind of a 2025 recruit, so to speak. With Adhel Tac, red shirting this past season, that injury. Is that kind of like a 2025 pick as well? I don't anticipate Maddy playing a whole lot this season. She could. Injuries happen. But she's going to play a lot next season. I'm not worried about the recruiting aspect for Coach Dawn Staley. I'm not worried because with so much talent on this basketball team, I kind of expected it. I kind of figured like, okay, some of these top players just gonna like bounce. They're just gonna like, okay, I know South Carolina is amazing. South Carolina is great, but I don't want to be the 8th, 9th player on the basketball team. I don't. I could go to another team and I could be number 1, number 2, number 3 because some of these ladies are thinking like Juju Watkins or Hannah Hidalgo versus thinking like a MiLaysia Fulwiley. That's just the reality of it. And it's fine. It's fine. Y'all can do whatever y'all want to do. This is great for women's basketball in terms of the talent that's going in and more parity. I guess you could call it parity. South Carolina win this season, which I am predicting wholeheartedly. We're going to win this season. Now it'll be 3 out of the last 4. And we call him the 4-time national champion. That ain't much parity, but it's all good. The recruiting pitch, I can already see the recruiting pitch in some living rooms, dining room tables, when they actually do an unofficial visit or official visit to the school. Like, okay, why you want to go to South Carolina? Why? What's the reason that you want to go to South Carolina? Because you're not gonna play. You're not gonna play. You probably won't play until your junior year. And you come to this school, you playing a lot. Your social media following is going to go up and up and up and up. You get these NIL deals, you do all these different things. But what they don't say, and which they cannot say, is that you're going to win. You can't say that. You cannot say that we're going to compete for a national championship. We're going to go to the Final Four. Most of these schools that we're talking about don't have Final Four type talent. LSU's not going to no Final Four this season. It's not going to happen. UCLA is a good basketball team, good to really good basketball team, but they ain't going to no Final Four. Kentucky ain't going to no Final Four. And I can go on. Iowa is not. Texas has the talent to go. I digress with Texas. Cincinnati definitely ain't going. Stanford ain't going. Tennessee ain't going. A lot of these players trying to build their own legacy instead of trying to go win a championship. You got the dream team in South Carolina. You have the dream team in South Carolina college basketball. 13 strong, 12 5-stars, 1 4-star, 10 McDonald's All-Americans. Should have been 12 McDonald's All-Americans if Adhel Tac and Chloe Kitts did not decide to go to South Carolina, sign up and start early. Dawn Staley ain't worried. I'm not worried. Gamecock fans are not worried. Bring it on. Bring on a challenge. We need to be challenged. But it's all good. Championships reside at the University of South Carolina. You can find the address at Columbia Colonial Life Arena. If you need directions, hit a brother up. I get you some sweet tea and some pig feet. This includes another episode of Gamecocks Talk with Captain Will. I'm your man, Captain Will. Make sure you like, make sure you share, make sure you subscribe. Make sure you subscribe to Gamecocks Talk with Captain Will so I continue to bring you that gospel of Gamecocks every single day. Ladies and gentlemen, you are now rocking with the best. And since you're rocking with the best, come rock with your man, Captain Will. Let's go.
J-Rock, let this beat